So, what do you guys want to talk about?
You can call this the New World Order of Wrestling, brother. Put out the caution tape. Put out the orange cones. Acknowledge me.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Chan. It's the pod once again. I have no idea what we're doing, what we're calling, or why we even bother with this, but I'm here with Boris, and he's decided to bother as well. Boris, how you doing, big guy?
I'm doing great on this beautiful Monday afternoon. Well, I guess not so beautiful looking outside, but here we are.
Oh, really? I mean, there was could have sworn there was a sunny patch earlier, but how was your weekend? I literally have 2 brain cells left, and they're fighting for third place, man. And I don't think I didn't do any drinking or drugs. It's just life has brought me to the edge right now.
I hear you. My weekend is all right. Relaxing. Tried to relax. It was a very stressful week last week, so I tried to relax as much as humanly possible. Tons going on. Saturday, what did I? Yeah, went to the park, dude. Mid-October, go to the park, have a nice picnic with a friend. That's how you spend a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, I guess it is. Well, dude, there was pro wrestling this weekend. I thought it was on Sunday. I was a little taken aback, but it was suddenly on Saturday. I was like, oh damn.
Right? For some reason, I thought it was Sunday for the longest time.
Well, let's talk about what happened on Saturday. I guess we're a couple of days behind here, but I mean, an interesting weekend. Well, I mean, Friday, the big shock there, Ilya Dragunov coming back, winning the U.S. title. That's good. I think that put a little bit of a charge into everybody. We needed that. WWE wanted to get some buzz going on for an AEW weekend. You know what I mean? Agreed
100%. Actually, SmackDown on the whole was actually pretty damn good, considering, like, I was unsure about that episode going into it because, like, half the roster was still in Japan, half of them are in San Jose, and, you know, you just never know with those split crews, the way that they do it, that, right? But yeah, no, Friday was a pretty fun show overall. Yeah. You know, you got Cody costing people matches. You got Sami Zayn losing. Ilya Dragunov is back with a sick neck tattoo or chest to neck tattoo.
Yes, a lot of people getting neck tattoos now. It's the thing. I mean, Cody, Dom just got like a new neck tattoo. Tattoos are where it's at. But yeah, that was pretty fun. I mean, speaking of the guys being in Japan, I just put up a little short of like a transcription of AJ Styles and what he said to the Japanese audience there. You can check it out on the Hutch Henry's channel. But they had a fun little weekend there, I guess.
Yeah, it seems so. And it's dude, it's crazy to think that is literally AJ Styles' last time wrestling in Japan. Like, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, think. Like, here we are, right?
Well, it's crazy to think that he never got a New Japan return, or like, did he know when he signed that WWE contract that he was never really going to wrestle in Japan ever again? I mean, they've had a couple of tours since he signed. I remember once seeing a lot of fan cam footage of Jericho against Finn Balor in Japan and things like that. And I'm sure he was on some of those tours because, you know, they love to put people that they know the Japanese fans are into on those shows. So I'm sure he was part of those earlier tours. But did he really know in his mind, like, hey, now that I've signed with WWE, I might wrestle in Japan like a dozen more times at most for the rest of my life?
Right. It's great.
You know, and he said, a part of my heart is left here, like a part of me is here. And I can believe that. When you've lived there, gone there so much, it's a long flight. When you get there, you don't just turn around and come home. You know, you build a life there. You find hotels you like, people you like, places you stay. You have your second life there when you're on those tours regularly. So
it's that routine, you know, right? Awesome. And I can speak to that, like, just from traveling, like 200 plus days a year previously. You do get a routine. There are certain cities that, you know, it's kind of like a second home because you go to the same hotel, you see the same employees, go to the same restaurants because you feel comfortable going there, right? So, yeah, no, I totally get what he means by that. And, like, just that lifestyle in general, like, I totally get it. And being able to find a place that feels like home, man, that's huge when you're on the road for so fucking long.
Yeah, and he doesn't speak very much Japanese, but the Japanese he does speak, he spoke very well. You know, that accents are important. You can speak Japanese and sound like an American speaking jazz. Now, obviously, living here in Canada, there was a lot of cultures and a lot of people who come up to you speaking English, and it's right away you know where they're from because of their accent. Um, AJ did a very good job of pronouncing his Japanese when he said arigato, and his hellos, his thank yous, his goodbyes, his pleasantries, the things he was used to saying regularly. He had that shit down pat. And yeah, a part of his life gone. But 200 days on the road, huh, Boris? I didn't know you were such a rock star.
Yeah. Doing customer face to face with customers, like they still are old school and they want to see you face to face. Since COVID, we kind of changed a lot, but there's still some customers who they really want to do face to face. And to be honest, what we can do face to face in one full day versus 10 calls throughout the week, right? Like it's like I get it.
It's true, man.
It's
like
crazy.
It's the generation gap. Plus, sometimes I like to have a phone conversation with someone. I'm like, I can express myself. I can get it out quickly. Like a 5-minute phone call can be like an arduous amount of texting, especially with people that don't like to read text. As soon as you get past a paragraph or two, people are skimming and they're not getting. It's like a phone call is just all you need. 100%. But 200 days on the road. How about more than 200 minutes of wrestling? Another slog here from AEW, but personally, this one, I mean, it ended around 12:30-ish, almost coming up on 1 o'clock. Some people said 1 a.m., but I don't think it was that late. But for me, this show actually kind of flew by a bit. I realized it was a long show, and everybody lives in their own quantum universe, so time was moving quickly for me that day. It didn't grind on me, but yeah, another big show here from AEW. But even with a few matches, people would say should have been on. Yeah, Dynamite or something. Sorry.
That's what I always go back to. Look, I love the show. I thought it was great, but there are some matches that didn't need to be on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, you get the juxtaposition of WWE against AEW now is getting it's getting very obvious, right? The 5 matches against the 5 hours. It's like what is your preference in shows? But pretty interesting show. I like how they pulled off the old WCW fireworks display with jet speed at the beginning of the show. Like I remember specifically, was it Bam Bam Bigelow? I think in with Ray Traylor at the time. So Big Boss Man or Big Bubba Rogers, whoever. I think that was the match. I know it was Bam Bam. And they had their second hour fireworks go off on Nitro, and like that is not a small amount of fireworks. So like flames from the freaking side, the ring posts and like everything, and coming out of the ceiling, and rockets going up. And Bam Bam's like, "That's World War III." He's like, "What the hell is going on?" So I like that they channeled a little bit of that. A promoter
or start. Interesting way to start for sure. Very deep cut for like all 10 people who remember that actually happening way back in the day. But yeah, it was interesting. It was very interesting. Smart also because, they are doing their tailgate shows on TNT, TBS. So
I was about to say that.
It is a good way to do it. And I think it was smart. And it was a great match.
It's CM Punk would be happy because, they're being a business here. So you got people hooked on YouTube to this match and you're making them go pay for the pay-per-view. Do you think that anybody who wouldn't have paid for this pay-per-view suddenly paid for it because of jet speed versus
I always think of
this match?
I always think
against the FTR?
Maybe 1 or 2 people. But those are 1 or 2 people who, that's what, $80 right there. Boom. Win, or $100.
Yeah, I guess
whatever.
So.
Right?
Like, $160 if it's 2.
If there's one person who buys the pay-per-view based off of the pre-show, that's and
it was worth it. And I guess the people that are just watching the main show that always skip. There's many people I'm sure that skip pre-shows. They're like they roll their eyes on like pre-show. I don't have time for that with these long shows. So they tune in and they get to see this match happening. Exactly. And they get to see that like starting off hot. Like we're in the middle of a match here, people. Blah 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 blah. It is kind of interesting and a little bit of a throwback even to a degree. But yeah, I mean, with the new rating systems that have been coming out, which I'm sure you've caught a little bit of a wind of that lately, it seems like AEW's, the numbers have changed a lot, and the numbers have changed to lower, yes, but also more consistent. They would have killed for this consistency when they had higher numbers, but they're hovering around similar numbers throughout the show before they, have their big drops. Whereas before it was like, right, for what would Cornette say? He'd be like the Big Bang comes in with the audience, and then the Big Bang goes boom, and they drop. So their audience was more consistent throughout, even though it's a smaller number. So like those, I don't think that this was bringing in more fans. I think your AEW fans are your AEW fans. They were buying the pay-per-view or, pirating it or ESPNing or whatever, chillering, however they do.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it, right? At the end of the day, but no, it was a interesting way to start the show. I liked it personally, but yeah, again, like I'm just going through my notes here, and yeah, some of the matches here probably could have been even a 0. I would have accepted some of these matches in 0 hour instead of the pay per view, but and that's to me what makes these shows so long. If you take away the 15, 20 minutes here, 5 minutes there, like ending at 12:30. I'm like, I don't care. I'm a night owl, but man, that's a hard ask, especially now that there's more and more pay-per-views from AEW. How many are there? 6, 7, right? Like,
I'm not sure.
There's quite
in a year. How many does 8?
It's not the 4. If it was the 4, like it used to be, 4 or 5, then cool. Go 10 hours. I don't care. But it's a huge ask for monthly doing 5+ hour shows.
I think it is basically monthly now. We could go through and count, but it's probably like 10. They might skip a month or two here, but we could go through all of their pay-per-views. But even stuff this year that happened this year, is it going to happen again? What was the Wrestle Dynasty? Is that happening again? Like, we don't really know. So, but we know that they do have their flagship type shows. So, and even things like All Out was supposed to be a flagship, but then they bought our ROH, so now they have the rights to All In, so you've got All In and All Out, and you've got Double or Nothing, and so everything's like gambling related.
Yeah.
But then suddenly it isn't on other things. I don't know. So, but AEW, I'm glad they're around, especially with WWE getting so corporate, got the new AI news that's coming out about the writing team and everything. AEW is going to be a big breath of fresh air in a lot of ways, and I'm becoming a bigger AEW fan just because I'm so annoyed with WWE. Like the guy on the purse show had a massive sign right up behind Triple H on one of the things. It was like, I sold my kidney to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
like,
great.
Awesome. Maybe.
I love that. That was so fucking funny. But yeah, let's talk about this show. Where do you want to start?
Do you want to start with the main event, or you want to go into the girls? I know you're a Jamie Hayter fan.
Yeah, we can go wherever, whatever direction we want to go. Like, yeah, let's start Jamie Hayter.
All right, well, let's start to the pre-show, and we'll go with Charlie Thez. Charlie Thez, basically on the show, Lou Thesz's wife. Turns out that Tony Khan used to talk with him on like old message boards and stuff back in the day, and I can believe it. And she was there, 30-year age gap, so she's still alive. Looking pretty good. And she was saying that Lou would love this. He loved innovation, and he loved kids the moving forward. And but this one got me right from the start. Darby is the star, baby.
Yeah, 100%. And it felt like he really was. Like they made a point here, and it felt like he's right back to where he's supposed to be, right back to it, and kind of leading AEW, which is breath of fresh air.
Yeah, I think this was supposed to be Darby Allin winning the title. Unfortunately, they had All In, which is like a huge show for them. You got the growing sentiment from fans of wanting the Death Riders to, they're getting sick of this Moxley thing. And I think that Tony decided to go with Hangman.
Yeah.
And he could have gone with Moxley because it wouldn't have mattered who was in this match in the end run. But yeah, I think originally in his mind, this was supposed to be Darby, and Darby decided to get hurt, get hit by a bus and then climb Mount Everest, push back his trip. And so, but I think the original plan, it would have been last month that this would happen. What happened at WrestleDream last year? Like WrestleDream last year is where the title switched? Yeah. I can't remember. I don't know, like, I feel like they're trying to like mirror things that happened last year. Like, I think probably MJF is going to come back for a match at World's End, and he's going to mirror like the year where he lost his title at World's End. And I'm trying to remember what happened at the WrestleDream
last year. Well, actually, that's when Moxley won.
I really think originally that this was going to be Tony Khan's.
Yeah, this WrestleDream last year is when Moxley
I think Moxley was going to lose this year. So from Daniel Bryan, you're right. So like I knew it was something that juxtaposed against what could have been here. So, and Daniel Bryan wasn't even on this show. It would have been nice to have him on previously a year. It took a whole year for them to get this goddamn title off of Moxley, and the whole time we're wondering why it's in a briefcase. Nobody's does, and yeah, but I think just didn't want to not have All In a huge win in that way for somebody. Like he needed it. He needed him to go over. He needed babyface, and he wanted it to be Darby, but Darby wasn't available. So I don't know. I'm not sure what the original plan was, but I don't think that this was it. But I mean, I guess I'm okay with it. Yeah. Hell, a crazy freaking match, dude. What, like the water? So St. Louis is really tough with their athletic commission. They don't let a lot of stuff slide. So I think all of the buildup with all the fire and I'm going to murder you and all this stuff, like the opposite of fire is water, basically. So I think that they're coming in with the water hard because they couldn't use fire. And yeah, the juxtaposition of Ches talking about her husband and ending off the show with trying to drown a dude in the middle of the ring, I thought was pretty interesting.
I thought I like that. I like that though. I know some people were against it. Typically, I'm like, about stuff like that. But you know what? It worked. With this time, it worked. Anytime Darby does anything, it fucking works, right? Like it's something about Darby and just like taking these crazy bumps, like that throw to the announce table was fucking ridiculous. Stuff like that. I accept it from him at this point.
Yes, and it's actually the second time he's taken that bump from Claudio. They did it like a couple years ago.
Yeah,
it's like just nobody really seems to remember, and they didn't have the same angle. It was from the ground, and for him, it didn't look like they got a real good angle on this. It looked great, and it was a bit farther, and Claudio really got it. And the other one wasn't as far to the table, but they've done that spot before. It looked great, and so they were like, let's do it again. And I think this one's going to be seriously remembered. But I are things about him that I dislike because they're not how I would be. So I'm not sure if I'm jealous of his like mentality towards life because it's working out for him or something like that. Like I try to unpack things sometimes, but he lives his life his way. And so I don't know. I don't think there's any way I could ever really hate Darby Allin, even if I don't like what he's doing or I don't think what he's doing is particularly good for him.
Yeah, I get that.
Makes sense.
I know exactly what you mean.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm supposed to be in charge here, right?
Yeah.
Anything else you feel about this main event?
With the main event, honestly,
so what happened at the end?
I thought it was well done. I liked it, but then let us talk about the ending. What did you think of all that?
Well, for a second, I was thinking that Kenny Omega came out or something, but that was for the match before. But Sting coming back's pretty cool. He certainly looks good in all the white. Would have been nice if he had like more white on, like very Hakushi, like a white bat, like white everything. Like that would have been, or at least something to that degree. I don't know, but
yeah,
pretty cool stuff.
I liked it. It was a good end. It was kind of
a second here. I'm just looking for something. I didn't want to have to add to this. Go on. Go on.
No, I was just gonna say.
Can you hear me? What's going on?
I'm here. It's cutting in and out, but I think it's my internet. Even the guys upstairs have been complaining about the internet today.
Oh, really? Okay, cool. Sorry, I was also looking on my computer here. Like, God, this morning really fucked me up a lot of ways. Anyways, I'll cut out all this stuff.
Yep.
So the ending of this match, at first I was thinking, how are they going to deal with this? Like, now I've talked with my friend in the past. I knew that Moxie wasn't going to lose that coffin match, the casket match. I was like, that's not his style. He's not going to go get put in a coffin and then drug out of the place. Like, I can see Darby losing that easily because Darby can bounce back from anything. And then the same friend was saying like, well, I can't see Mox saying I quit. I'm like, I can. I think he like lost. He got like, I think Edge had him I quit. They had an I quit match and from the ropes or something like see Mox being like, no, I quit. But I can't see him getting put in a coffin. So I kind of felt that Mox was going to lose this match. But I didn't think going to actually be like submission like this. I loved this ending. But at that point where he was drowning him or he was outside at him, I got a flash for a moment where I thought, like, love him, like the twisted Moxley logic, like all you people back off. You don't love him like I do, as he's like trying to kill him, right?
Yeah.
And he's trying, but that's why he loses. Like he can't. He knows Darby will never. He finally realizes that Darby will never quit, and that he would have to kill him. So he's like standing over, almost very like a better version of Bubba Ray Dudley. It's over, and bam, and they pick up, they drop their chairs and they put it through.
Yep. I liked it.
It's almost like that. Like Moxley's like ready to like freaking stab him, and then he's like, and be like, I quit. And the Death Rider's like, what? What are you doing? And he's like, I quit. Moxley quits and walks out because he knows that Darby will never quit, and he would literally have to kill him.
Yep. Exactly.
He gives up trying to make him quit. That's why he quits. He's like, I quit trying to make him quit. So that's what I thought was going to happen. But then instead, the Sting ending, which was kind of cool. Would have been a great way to see him raise the title above his head.
Yeah, it would have been. It would have been. But it was good. Nice little surprise. Honestly, I didn't expect to see Sting, to be 100% honest. It was a nice little surprise. And I
was surprised it wasn't Andrade. When the lights came up, I was expecting Andrade. I'm like, no, it's not Andrade. Give me a break. I'm like, I do remember at one point, Pac's new outfits kind of throw me off because when they threw Darby, when he threw Darby onto the announce table, Claudio, within a few seconds, somebody was like there, like I thought it was security or medics or something, and then they're like kind of being rough with him, and I was like, Jesus, the medics are being really rough, and then I was like, oh, it's freaking Pac, in his like his all black, like freaking cargo gear that he wears now. So I don't know what the hell's going on with his new haircut. I'm like, I thought, what the hell is the medic doing, kicking the shit out of Darby?
Oh, like, gee. No, it does throw me off too, like because I'm so used to seeing him with his black trunks. Regardless of what's going on, he used to always wear those black trunks. Now that he's wearing something different, my mind is like, whoa, wait.
Yeah, I did like that he always stuck to like being a wrestler. He's like, I'm a wrestler, and his like greasy hair and his face was always a good thing. So he's lost a bit of his allure, but he's still one of the best. But hey, speaking of wrestling, like the I got to admit the water spot with the tank, like I'm okay with that, but like try and make it wrestling, right? I mean, don't just like shove his face in and try and drown him. Like cravat him and like cravat his face into it or something. And come on, like Marina could have given him an ankle lock instead of just stepping on his foot. Like, let's throw some wrestling in there. Hammerlock the guy, drag him in the ring, cravat his face into the water. Say something like, ask him. Like, let's do some wrestling stuff here, people. I mean, the Blue Fez's wife is in the audience. Give her something. No?
There you go. Yeah, I didn't even think of that, to be honest. I like that idea, actually. If you're going to do it, you might as well add some wrestling to the wrestling match.
Yeah, like freaking camel clutch him over it and then like put his face in or something. I don't know.
I like that, actually. Never really thought of that.
I don't want to run the pay-per-view backwards because then we're going to end with Jamie Hayter against Tekla. So we'll start with Jamie Hayter and Tekla here after our main event, and maybe we'll even get back to the main event. Maybe I'll think about, by the time we're done this podcast, I'll change my mind. And I'll be like, I hated that main event. But actually, 4 matches that I often sometimes think are trash because there are things about Moxley, like freaking last time with trying to pull his blade out of his pocket and weird, like, dude, there are things about Moxley. Like, I love his look and his thing now, like this Cro-Magnon man thing. There's so much great emotion in his face, and Samoa Joe and freaking, Tony Storm. Like, so many great facials and people in this company, which is why Monet is so freaking bland. Like, I was like, oh my God, like, she's not that bad, but like in this company, sorry, honey, you're bad. You can't be as good as Hangman, fucking like crying blood from his eyes while talking about fucking his house on fire or some shit. Like, he's crazy. He like, you know what I mean? She can't hack it. But yeah, back to the very beginning. These guys, Tekla and Jamie Hayter, can't hate on this. This was pretty good. These gals for a non-title match from women on a pay-per-view, which you never see here. I liked it. After the jet speed thing, it kept me interested, and I love Jamie Hayter's like techno entrance that's somehow on like a throwback 70s like look. Like whatever she's doing, I don't hate it.
It just works.
Jamie, love her. I love her.
It just works, honestly, and then that's how I felt about this match. This match just worked. Having said that, taking a look at the entire card, did this need to be on the pay-per-view? I'm not sure, but it was still a good match. I did enjoy the match. I really did.
I wonder if, because TV is where you get more viewers. So if you're
Yeah.
building to something, then TV is the place to do it. But remember, we've got a women's blood and guts match coming up, right?
Yeah.
So that's why you had Sky Blue and Julia Hart come out at the end. And that's why they were all staring at each other. I think we had 5 or 6 gals all staring at each other back and forth by the end of it, right? So I think they're like, oh, blood and guts.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's method to his madness, I guess, right? They're spoon feeding us that. But yeah, considering that we had a Monet match and another women's match, not that I hate the women's wrestling, but perhaps you're right. But I didn't hate it. I liked seeing Jamie Hayter get some love because she deserves that love. She's a former women's champion, and she was hot before she got injured. She was hot. Like she could do no wrong. So I love that they're putting her on a pay-per-view. I'm not against it.
Same. I think people forget how just red hot she was before her injury. She would come out, the reactions were insane, and little by little
she was bigger and redder, hotter than her hair.
Yeah, there we go.
She was as big as her hair and just as hot, red hot. So I think second match was the tag match, right?
Yeah, Jurassic Express against the Young Bucks.
No, not enough funds. Funds, yeah, whatever it is, dude.
I did not like that.
See, this is where I'm like my old man screaming at clouds. Like, right away, I didn't like it. And then I thought to myself, why do you not like this? I had to quickly unpack it in my head. I'm like, you know what? If I was them, I'd be like, let's do something for our entrance. And like, we're going to miss the broke bucks when they're the rich bucks. Like you know what? I don't hate it now. That's why I say by the time we get back to the main event, I'll be like, I hate everything I thought when I started the podcast. Because when that first came out, I was like, give me a break. But you know what? The $32.17 bucks, I loved it. Why not? Let's have some fun. And they were having fun. And I would rather see that entrance over and over and over than the amount of finishers that freaking Jack Perry took and kicked out of. Because I am bigger than Jack Perry. So I don't think I could jump off the top rope, take a double super kick and a double knee to the face, a trigger, whatever they call it, V-trigger, and kick out while folded in half. Like, I would put over the Young Bucks after taking that move, and so should have Jack Perry. But a hell of a fun match. What'd you think?
I liked it. It was exactly what you would think from these guys. The Young Bucks, this isn't a dig at them, but every match at this point of theirs, they're at that point in their career where it's just let's run through the hits, get the moves in that the fans want to watch, right? Like, and then there's nothing wrong with that. But it was fun, and seeing Jack Perry back in pay-per-view in a match, that's meaningful, very cool too. I like this match overall. But
yeah, like the tag scene is going back in time, man. They're trying to get the Acclaimed back together. They got the Jurassic Express there. We had FTR in the opening match. I'm starting to smell it. And I not to say I disagree with you, but I've been enjoying the Bucks again lately. I think this run, the broke Bucks run, is good. They were gone for a while. They were being aloof. Like, now they're coming out. They're putting in the effort. I'm liking these matches. And yeah, they're running through the hits, but it's certainly not a WWE match where, like, literally, if we get to the back and they're like, you didn't do move 5. Remember, you've got all these moves, right? Like, they have to go. Daniel Bryan, you've never seen him do the flying headbutt again. And you've never seen Moxley do the Nigel McGuinness, like, rebound freaking clothesline ever. You've never seen these guys do these moves after they had to do it in every match because it was fucking part of that's part of the rules. This is your move. You got to do your move. Get your shit in, Mr. Brian Cage, Mr. Get my shit in. So yeah, I don't know. I still liked it, and I don't mind that they also ran the hits. They know what they're doing. And I like that they both have like weird matching dyed beards. Like, they actually look like brothers now. I like it.
It's true. Yeah. Overall, good match. I liked it. Not the next match.
Am I crazy? Did Omega come out twice during this show? Did he come out after this match? No, it was somebody else attacked them. So yeah, he was gonna give money back to the Bucks, right? Jack was gonna. He's like, here you go, guys. Maybe an olive branch of some sort, an olive like tree, Cro-Magnon from prehistoric tree.
Yeah, it was Josh Alexander, Mark Davis, and Lance Archer.
That's it. That's it. The Callus. I forgot about the Callus freaking commune. It's like that's how big it is now. It's not the Callus family. It's the Callus commune, the Callus community. But yeah, they came out and attacked, right? So I don't know. What's the deal with that?
No kidding. They're starting something new. Like, that felt random to me. But sure, let's go with it.
is this the Bucks like turning face and teaming with Jurassic Express?
I think little by little. I think
is this our men's? Is this our men's blood and guts match? Because I haven't really thought about that at all. You know, Bucks and Jurassic Express against the callous fucking community.
That doesn't. That I hope not. That really doesn't.
Whatever.
That doesn't jump. That doesn't scream big match to me.
I guess I'm trying to think like how they book, what they do. And obviously I'm thinking the Callis family has to be part of this blood and guts thing. Like who's your other big heel faction? Although now that I think about it, you've got a lot of heel factions now. I mean, if we go all the way to our semi-main, we've got the Ops turning heel. You've got the Callis family. You've got, I know that there's a few more. I mean, even on the low end, like LIJ, like Roosh and his brother, but like who else? You got the Death Riders, the Demand. Like you've got all these heels, right? So like factions.
Yep.
So Bucks turning face. I see it happening, man. I'm telling you, this is the beginning of it.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Am I crazy? Are you crazy?
So. Not yet.
Crazy?
Not yet. A little bit, but not yet. Do we need to talk about the next match? I really didn't care for this match.
Which match was it?
The Demand versus Hurt Syndicate.
Well, I thought it was a little weird that I don't know. I thought it was a little weird that they had basically the same match again. Like last time was a 3-way street fight, and this is just a tornado. So, but there was disqualifications in this one, except that when you have a tornado, there's no disqualifications. So it's basically street. So it's basically just mirroring the same match again.
Yeah.
So I'm not exactly. Yeah, I guess returning the favor. I don't know what they're going to do with Ricochet after this. I still think he's at the best he's ever been. So hopefully they don't just like shit can.
But that's the problem. I feel like he's lost a lot of momentum since the Demand started.
Yeah, although Toa and Bishop, like they're getting a bit of a rub here. Like they've definitely moved up. Even if they level off where they're at now, or even come down, they've certainly leveled up to a degree. And I guess this is laying the groundwork for the Hurt Syndicate to turn face. Is that what's happening here? Like they're going full face?
I think they already are faces at this point.
Yeah, never go full face. It's too bad. I don't think they can. They're too badass to go full face. But
yeah, I think they're going to be cool heels, right? Like I think that's going to be their thing.
All right. Well, once again, I mean, I can see the Ops maybe dropping the 6-man to them, but part of me is always waiting for the other foot to drop. I mean, Samoa Joe was part of the Beatdown Clan back in the day. If you get rid of Low Key, you basically are looking at the Beatdown Clan here with these guys. And that one interview where you and I met at the Hurt Syndicate interview, and I was going to ask him about Samoa Joe as possible. Everybody's talking about Cedric, but I see Samoa, and this was before Ops really got any steam, if that's what they have. But you've got maybe in this 3-way match for the title, you've got Samoa Joe in there who used to be with these guys, and you've got Hobbs who, like, you could probably slide him into the Hurt Syndicate and not bat an eyelash. He could learn a lot from these guys.
Absolutely.
So the odd man out is Shibata. I could see them shit cannon on Shibata and be like, get the hell out of here.
It's weird, and we'll talk about that later, but I'm very interested to see what they do with Shibata.
Yeah, the odd man out. In some ways, I remember an odd man out thing from the last match is when the Don Callis family came down to the ring to attack everybody. Like Mark Davis, he seems so out of place. It seems like to me he looks like Mark Rudd, like trying to play like a bad guy. Like, yeah, I'm a bad guy. Look at me, I'm a bad guy. Whereas everybody else kind of seems like a badass, but he's just like, I'm a bad guy. Yet when he was in Aussie Open and would get angry during matches and was mad, like I believed it.
Right.
But now with his like slacks that are like hemmed a little too high and his like fat ass and his freaking fake angry face, I'm just like, oh man, I'm not buying it at all. Like he is really, you want to talk about somebody that's lost steam.
Yeah, he's trying to be a heel. Like it's not natural to him, and he's like, it's one of those things like this is what a heel should be, and he tries to imitate that and do that and have like like you said, like that angry face. I got to show an angry face. That's how I'm a bad guy.
Yeah. All right. Well, I tried to help you avoid talking about the next match for a minute there by going back in time 2 matches, but we are going to have to talk about Ultimo Monet. And, you know, Conan says she's super one-dimensional. I think her delivery, like, she's not a good talker. Like, when you grow up in, like, the hood, like, she hasn't been able, like, she kind of mumbles her words a bit. Like, the way she pronounces words and the way she talks isn't great. Yes, she's good when she wants to do her, I can't believe it's selling, like, oh my God. Like, it's one of her only good emotes. And, you know, you put Twisted Metal Samoa Joe with his freaking like angry face at the end of his heel turn angry face against Monet in The Mandalorian, and her like wooden acting. I just don't know what to say. And you're gonna call her Ultimo Monet when Ultimo Monet is right there. Like when you people leave portmanteaus on the table, it really makes me mad. Like, what's wrong with these people? You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you mean.
Which she was 10 belts Monet, became 11 belts Monet when Mina Shirakawa came out. And man, Mina Shirakawa, I guess she knew she was losing the match because she was all like, I'm going to make this entrance the best entrance in the world. Like, she did her freaking salsa dance thing. Like, it was like the freaking last thing she was ever going to do. She's like, all right, I'm going to get killed at the end of the rampway. It's the last moment of my existence. Like, she gave her with that shit. I think I left the room and made a tea and came back and she was still like,
still
yeah,
going,
baby.
Yeah.
Yes. And like, but she came down to the ring. She lost. Monet, 11 belts Monet. If you really want to skip over the match, dude, we could skip right to the end because I think we're looking at, or I guess it wouldn't be the end of this match. Oh, dude, we skipped. You made me think you were talking about Monet. We actually skipped. We skipped the title match. Well, you said you didn't want to talk about this next match.
No, I meant the Hurt Syndicate match, not Fletcher and Briscoe. I like.
Oh, that's right. All right, I've gotten completely confused. I thought you don't want to talk about Monet. No, did I also skip the Fletcher match too?
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. I don't really write that many notes. When it's all emotion for me, man. I know I'm a little Monet, I'm a little wooden, but
that's
still,
fine. That's fine.
It's all emotion for me.
But so like, hey, we can talk about the TNT Championship then. Fletcher, Briscoe, what you think of this?
This is why you should be in control of the podcast, right? Because I'll just talk, and then you cut me off and go, okay, next.
No radio this week. We're good. It's just a podcast this week.
All right, cool. So wait, the TNT title match was next, so I guess I didn't write anything down about the TNT title match at all, so that's why I forgot
Fletcher
that it was there. I didn't even make a note. I have like half a piece of paper, just a couple of little notes here and there. But,
it wasn't. This wasn't a bad match. We got the ending was weird. With the whole shoving the ref and then punching him, blah 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 blah. Brainbuster to end the match. Like it was just a match. Mark Briscoe loses way too much sometimes.
Well, I'm remembering why I didn't write anything down. And if I think about my mentality during this match, I remember knowing that the match was upcoming. And so I see the promo package and I'm like, oh yeah, they're even now, like 4-4. This is the fifth match, the 2-2. So when Briscoe was ROH World Champ, he's defending his title and Kyle Fletcher was just getting out of the tag team and he's doing his TV title run down there. And so he was losing to Mark Briscoe and you could see that happening. And now he's gained a ton of body weight and a ton of TV time and he's Callis' top guy and now he's TNT champ. So he's been beating Mark Briscoe. So like when I saw the package saying this is match number 5, I got a little bit of interest. I'm like, okay, package. And then Kyle Fletcher's coming down to the ring and I'm like, okay, he's going to win this match. I know what's going to happen. He's going to win this match. Too bad for Mark Briscoe. And then the match is happening. And this is what is great about wrestling in general. This is why it's one of the best emotional roller coasters of that exists out there. AEW is really good at it sometimes, but so is WWE in general. And some matches fail big time at this. But they got me this time. So I'm half disinterested. Kyle Fletcher's coming down to the ring. He is going to win this match. And then they're going and Briscoe and the emotion and they're having a great match. And I'm like, maybe they will put it on Briscoe. I mean, this would be great. Look at, like, he could go over and get a big pop here. And then I start to think I want him to win. So now I want Briscoe to win. And now I'm invested in this match and I'm watching the match. And then at the end of the match, Kyle Fletcher wins. Anyway, so I'm kind of annoyed. So, oh my God. So I started the match not interested and knowing who's going to win. And then at the end, I was right. And I was emotional and angry about it. That, my friends, is pro effing wrestling. So this match did not need to be on Dynamite. I'm glad it was here. And that's why I wrote no damn notes, is because it got me. I was into this and I wanted Briscoe to win. And when he didn't, I was like, ah!
You're angry. He was angry, friends.
Damn you, Don Callis. Yes.
Yep.
You know, so wrestling did its job here. Maybe that's why this show didn't seem so long to me. Because and even the main event I was into, I wanted to go to bed. I was like watching the main event. This show got me for a show that on paper I didn't think was going to be
I
that great.
threw on this show like in the middle of the night. I watched it like after it aired, and I stayed up. I just stayed up watching it because it got me. It intrigued me. Like the pacing is a little weird sometimes with AEW pay-per-views, but there's always something that you're like, okay, I'm gonna keep watching. I'm gonna keep watching. I'm gonna keep watching. Next thing you know, it's like 7 a.m. watching the main event. I'm like, fuck! I stayed up all night watching wrestling. Jesus Christ. But yeah. So
and I also noticed I didn't make a lot. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, and this leads us into the next match, which was for the AEW Women's Championship match. Chris Statlander versus Timeless Toni Storm. I'm not shocked that Statlander won clean, per se.
No, she needed it.
Needed it.
Tony, yeah, she wasn't going to get hurt by this.
No.
We already mentioned that Mina Shirakawa lost her interim television title to Monet. I guess we didn't really actually get into it, but yeah, I see the women's tag team championship going to Mina and Storm here, which is a reason why she didn't, win the title again. But we needed this for Stat, and I don't think it's just a given that she's going to lose to Monet. But it was a good match. I don't know what else to say about it. I don't think it was their best match ever. I don't think it was either person's best match, but Stat looked good, and that's what they needed to do, was put over this new champ over in the singles match over the previous champ. And of course, all the emotion, literally having her crying and all of her Toni Storm stuff, and then backstage, and then to have literally as she's walking through the curtain, Monet comes out and she's like, "And 1 minute, please. The CEO is here. I am like, I'm just like, wow, the way she talks is just, I'm surprised she doesn't have a lot more roles other than Mandalorian. I don't know how she got in there, because she's not good at this.
No, she's not.
Sorry, I still want my AEW media
Here's
passes,
the thing.
Tony,
Here's the thing about Mercedes Moné. In-ring, amazing. But character-wise, talking, just it's not a heel thing. It's just she's not that good. I don't think she's that good as a character or as anything, but her in-ring saves her career, to say the least. Now, what did you think of the whole Statlander Monet stuff, at the end of the Monet match?
Well, I mean, they're painting themselves into a corner again like they did with her last time. I don't see why they're doing this. Now, I know that Monet has said, outside of her, Stat is her favorite person to wrestle. She's like, I wrestled her twice now. I absolutely adore wrestling her. We have great chemistry, and I love basing for her. I love her basing for me, rather. I love working with her. And the last match they had, it was a pretty damn good match. That was first time we really got to see the Monet, what am I going to do to beat her? That was the first time she started doing that stuff.
Yep.
And I don't think it's necessary, but what are they going to do? I don't know, man. We still got to do this roundtable. What are they doing with Monet? I don't want to, everybody seems to hate it, so I almost want to say I love it, because I do kind of love it. But, I mean, she's 12 belts Monet now, right? She won the interim television championship for the ROH one from Mina Shirakawa, but she also just beat Jody Threat last night in Winnipeg, here in Canada, and she's now 12 belts Monet.
Yep.
So what are we doing with this? The one guy online who was like, she's going to get pregnant from the freaking bull and then be done and get rid of them all. But how do you get these titles back to these promotions? How do you make it not shit on them? Because you got all the fans that are going to say this is shitting on promotions. Then you got all the promoters who are saying, oh, this is great. I sold a ton of tickets and I'm getting, my social media has quadrupled followers and whatnot. But how do you make the IWC, the haters, not right? How do you make it right, as they would say? How do you make this right? How do you make her the ultimate champion? Do you make a unified title for the women's championship when she beats her? Do you make some kind of grand championship? I don't know. And you can't have her going back to all these promotions and dropping the title to all these other local indie people. So I don't want to sit here and just babble at you with the half a dozen different ways I would do this if I was Tony Khan, because it's like a beast that's getting bigger and bigger.
You know what we should do? Honestly, this is a great topic. Let's table it and let's do a special on this one, because I have a lot of ideas percolating. We're already at 45 minutes. We can stay here for 2 hours just talking about this alone.
Yeah, I guess so. Like, either has to be some kind of unified thing or
It's
in. Okay,
it's
quickly before I give you one of the other ideas, I'll tell you here. I forget you're over here. I can see a little the panic on your face. 45 minutes. You're on my side screen, Boris. Hi, how you doing, Boris? Um, you know, maybe have her lose in some sort of like match where all of the titles are on the line in some fashion. Like it has to be a
exactly.
thing. She needs to lose to somebody that's a tier lower than her that can then go to these promotions. So me as a promoter, if I bought Monet in and I sold like 8,000 tickets and had to get a new venue because it's so bam, 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 I did my Monet thing. My social media has jumped. I've sold a ton of these freaking tickets. And 8 months from now, 6 months from now, three, whenever she comes back, am I going to get the same return or more? I might get the same. Doubt I'll get more. Probably going to get less. What's better? What's better would be Chris Statlander. Chris Statlander's because she's the new Winnipeg Pro Wrestling Champion because she took it from Monet. Statlander debuting here as our champion coming in, loses the belt back to Jody Threat. That's how, oh my God, now you've sold tickets again and you have renewed interest in a new person. Is Statlander going to sell tickets like Monet? No, but it's not
It's a name.
doubling up on Monet and you get your
Also
title back,
she's also the champ. Taking that AEW belt to whatever promotion would be huge, right?
Yeah, or like somebody get like Tony Storm or somebody gets put in control of the women's division and like some match where they get, oh, I'm in charge now. And here's a gauntlet match where every pinfall is for one of Monet's titles,
exactly.
and like Monet gets one or two of the pinfalls. So like she still leaves with like 3 belts, but now other broads have left. Mina Shirakawa leaves with the Winnipeg, and some other bitch Tekla leaves with the Danish one and the German one, and she can go back and defend those or lose them there. Like there's so many ways to do this. But yes, round table, 45 minutes. I keep forgetting to look over here. Yes, Boris, the panic. Let's continue. What happened after? Yeah, I know. I'm just joking. But then backstage, this is what I was talking about before. Mina Shirakawa and Tony Storm like crying together. They're going to be the first women's tag team champions,
Probably.
I think,
Probably.
to a degree, or at least
I think
a big
so.
part of it. Maybe the finals.
Exactly. I would put it honestly, does timeless Tony Storm need a belt at this point?
I don't know.
Right? That's my
probably. You know
whole
what?
thing.
Probably not. No, the character.
All right.
The character itself. Right.
Let's talk about this next match. So the next match was for the AEW Tag Team Championships. Brodito versus Okada and Takeshita. The only thing I didn't like about this match was Brodito as AEW Tag Team Champs were there, but it felt like this match was more about Okada and Takeshita.
Yeah, and like maybe it should be.
Yeah,
I
I'm not
mean,
saying it was it's the thing that I noticed the most, that the match itself was secondary. The big story of this match was Okada and Takeshita.
Well, everybody complaining AEW doesn't know how to tell stories. So like that's what wrestling's about, man, right? This not every single match is a main event. Not every single match has to be super heavy. This was an ends to a means to an end. Tony Khan loves to do his eliminators, so they won an eliminator. Now they're here. Okada hit Takeshita with the Rainmaker and like smirked about it. Brodito got to look strong. The 21 plex, like the single arm 21 plex, that looked really great for Bandito, even though I think the 21 plex is like top level tier, like bad wrestling finisher. Dude, how is this guy one of the greatest wrestlers in the world? And that's his finisher. Why does this always happen to the best, that their finishers are ridiculous? But dude, like headstand stuff he was doing, like he did some crazy stuff in this match. And like, the throwback to his Takeshita match earlier this year, which I still think might be match of the year. I think Okada and him are going to give us a hell of a match on Wednesday
It's
Dynamite.
going to be ridiculous.
That's what's
it's
happening,
going to be
right?
ridiculous. It's going to be absolutely ridiculous.
I would assume it's non-title because whoever's title you put on if you put Okada's title on the line, it's pretty obvious that he's going to beat Bandito if his isn't. So it'd be nice if it was just like a exhibition, no titles on the line, something like that. But we know why Okada took the pin. It's because you can't be pinning the brand new IWGP champion on American TV like a schmuck, or else you're damaging that relationship. And so this is a huge win for Bandito and Brodito in general. So great match.
It was
Fun.
good. It was very good.
Let's stay positive here.
I think we are positive for the most part, but
I'm just trying to say,
I know. Let's go on.
I know negativity sells, right? But still, let's stay positive.
AEW World Heavyweight Championship, Hangman Adam Page versus Samoa Joe. We talked about this match a little bit, but let's get into it a little more. This match, I like this match overall. I like Joe going heel. Seeing some vintage Joe in this match. And this is another guy. When you think about AJ Styles, which I just got the notification of your video on YouTube. When you think of AJ Styles, you automatically think of Samoa Joe, and then you're like, "Fuck! How much longer does Samoa Joe have?"
Yeah, he looks like he's lost a little bit of weight. Like maybe he's on the
great.
Ozempic or he's getting older. Yeah, it looks great. I love it when he shaves his head and he looks all like freaking mean with his big like bulbous nose and stuff. Like
what I like
about
Joe,
headbutted by that dude.
Right, right. Fuck, I would. Whew. What I like about Joe is his wrestling style. He can do this for a few years more, and like he's not going to diminish in style. Right, he has a style that lasts and allows him to be around.
The biggest bump he takes is when he does the into the corner and then turns around and gives the like backwards enziguri to the guy in the corner, and then he usually lands hard on his hips and his lower back. But like, dude, when you've noticed guys like Mick Foley and the Samoa Joes and the Sammy Callahans and the guys that have that like middle weight, like hip weight, big butts, they can take a lot of those kind of hits for years and years. It seems there's times where I'm like, man, these guys, it's like nothing seems to affect their hips. So I think he might be able to do that forever. But yeah, a lot of his style, you're right, can definitely go this way. The match itself, I like that they were teasing the Deadeye. Because then I was like, oh, and eventually he's going to get this big fucker up and hit him with the Deadeye, and so that's going to be pretty cool. And then it happened a lot earlier than I thought.
It happened basically at the
end
of the match.
Oh,
they were teasing it. They were teasing it. He got it in, only for a 2 count. But that was fine because he gave him not 1 but 2 buckshot lariats to actually win the match. Which was fine.
I think it was 3 because I remember. I actually said to my buddy who we were kind of like chatting back and forth, we were like, Joe's a 3 buckshot guy. And then when it was the third one they did it, we were like, yeah, because after he kicked out of the second one, I was like, Joe's a 3 buckshot dude.
Yeah, it was 3. Sorry. You're right. It was 3. It was 3.
Yeah, it was 3. But that's all right, man. We're allowed to make mistakes because mistakes are why you take 3 to the face. I don't know what I'm talking about. No, yeah, but it was 3.
Right in the kisser.
Yeah, the mistake was only doing 2. You gotta do 3. Oh boy.
Yeah, and then the heel turn. Like, here's the thing. What, honestly, I cannot see Shibata as a heel. Like, he's not a heel.
Yeah, like he's like it's not quite the Paul Rudd thing I was talking about with Mark Davis, but yeah, he definitely seems like he's putting on an act, like so. I don't know. Yeah, I can see. I would love to see that faction get bigger. Yeah. Or even just at some time in the future, maybe if it breaks apart. But I was really waiting for Samoa Joe to join these guys at one point. It was a while ago. I'm talking about it now. It seems ridiculous. People are like, that doesn't make sense. But there was a time where I thought it might have made sense. And I could definitely see Hobbs getting in there. Hobbs could use some direction. He needs some. I mean, I don't know him personally, but I'd like to think he needs some mentorship. And that's why he hangs out with guys like Shibata and Joe. He's not against hanging out with the old guys, listening to their advice. I think he's going to do very well for himself. So, but yeah, the heel turn was interesting. And you know what I think it is Joe's better as a heel, but also they can go to a second match now. You don't need to have another opponent for Hangman.
Not a respect angle. Like, you can only do so many respect angles. Like, Hangman Adam Page just needs someone, like, he needs a rivalry. He needs someone. He needs like that bad guy to go up against. And I think this is a smart move overall. Like you said, it leads to a second match, and it gives us a few weeks of a good feud. And then that's what we need.
Because I think all roads lead to MJF coming back and using that cash in, and the same thing as we were talking about way earlier. We were trying to figure out whether it was Danielson losing to Mox at WrestleDream. They're going to juxtapose this to 2 years ago where he lost the title at World's End. He's going to come back and win the title. And even Samoa Joe kind of being vaguely involved here might have something to do with it. But I think they just want to go for a second match to give Hangman something to do, give him a feud other than just one-off matches against the Lee Moriartys of the world, and give him something to sink his teeth into. Maybe light a house on fire or bleed, cry some blood. And then MJF comes out and makes you cry some more blood when he takes your belt, sucker. Right. MJF going home for Christmas with his wife around the Christmas tree with the AEW World Championship, baby.
There we go. I think you hit the nail on the head. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I think you're right. You're 100% right on that one.
I think the reason they wanted it to be here and in this fashion, I mean, we just had Seth get betrayed by his faction mates. I had somebody was telling me like Mox keeps losing now, and are the Death Riders going to turn on him? Like, I think that's definitely not going to happen because of what just happened with Seth. And then you've got heel turns like this, and so I think there's a lot of meat on the bone with AEW, and you never really know which direction they can do. They can just kind of do anything they want, and sometimes you're like, oh, this is stupid. They're not thinking, but sometimes I think they think so far ahead that if they fucks them up or they come up with great ideas. I don't know. But I think the reason they're doing this is just to give him more of a feud. There, man, that was a ridiculous Babylon nothing
just
sentence. But yeah,
feud.
Yeah, pretty much. I think they're I think they're gonna lean on Hook and Eddie Kingston a lot more coming up.
Should.
They need baby faces. They got no Osprey. They got no Swerve. They got all these heel factions. They got heel turns left, right, and center. So like I think we're going to be seeing a lot the Orange Cassidys and the Eddie Kingstons and the Hooks, and especially with this heel turn.
More faces. That's what we need, and not more faces. Just highlight the faces. That's what we need at this point here. Going back to the main event. Do you have any new thoughts on the main event?
Since the beginning, I don't know. I'm disappointed we didn't have like Darby driving through the desert or like some kind of black and white promo of him like half frozen to death on a mountain or whatever. Just him saying, I think they gave us a little something, but it was the weakest, least emoist fucking intro video for Darby in a while. So I was just like, hey man, what's going on here? But I did like Sting coming out. I liked all of it. Geez, man, like the spike underneath the nail and shit, like it was pretty good. But why don't you talk for a bit? What did you think of this match? Like, what when you think about this match?
I overall liked it. It was, like I said, it was a fine match. Some of the stuff, like I say, I accept because it's Darby Allin. Like I said earlier, like he is just that person that can do shit like that. Like and I accept it. Typically, I don't like seeing like the water stuff and blah blah blah, blah the bags. But when it's with Darby, I'm like, sure, he can do this. I kind of accept it with him.
Yeah, like Darby
I mean?
can seem to get away with it in some fashion. Yeah. I don't know. I feel he's like Book of Eli. Like he made a deal with God where at one point God was like, all right, listen, until the day that the second you see the peak of the second mountain, the sign comes, until that day, I will be watching over you, so do whatever you want. So, like, he knows he can take any bump in the world and he won't die. Just like in Book of Eli, he knew like he would be fine until he transcribed the Bible, and then he was able to die. So he wasn't worried about dying. He knew he was on a mission from God. And Darby Allin's on some kind of weird, twisted mission from like Mephisto or some otherworldly. I don't think it's God. It's some otherworldly demon, or it doesn't have to be a demon. Some angel from another plane or something. Something's latched onto his lower chakra, and it feels like it's not a bad demon. Something's protecting this kid. Because he sure as hell's got a lot more money than I do, and he's probably live longer than I will too. Like, I don't know. Right? He's gonna be like a George Burns type, like smoking a cigar, when I separated my sixth and seventh vertebrae.
Six cigars a day, or whatever it was.
Infused.
Overall, I thought this match was fine. It was a good match, good end to the pay-per-view. What do you think is next for Mox?
I don't know. What's the obviously murder, right? You like that's the next step. You have to actually kill someone. But no, what's next for Mox? I don't know. Like bounce back, maybe a Four Horsemen type thing where they pretend it didn't even happen. Like, that only happened because of Sting. Like we didn't lose or whatever. Who knows? But we got a "This is murder" chant, which is not the first time that we've had "This is murder."
Yep.
But we did get "This is fucked up." So first time I've ever had that one. So AEW bringing it hard with the new chants and with the new spots, the water spots. We've never seen anybody get, try and get drowned in the middle of the ring. I do think he should have cravatted him into the water, or maybe backbreakered him into it, pile drive, some sort of wrestling move. Don't just shove his face in there like I would, or like a serial killer or something, man. Like, come on. There's a reason why you're a professional, right?
Exactly.
But this feud has been going on forever. I don't see any reason for them to just suddenly stop it, especially with Blood and Guts coming up. Is it Full Gear? That Blood and Guts happens at Full Gear? I don't even know anymore.
You've
got the conglomeration out there.
Yeah.
Darby and the conglomeration against the Death Riders or whatever. I don't know, some shit.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, overall, good pay-per-view. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I had fun. I was sports entertained. Kept me up all night watching this show. It was good.
I guess that's all we have to say about this show, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. Wrapped it up in a neat little package, as they like to say.
Yeah, are we under? Did we hit your hour time mark that you like?
Did we?
We went a little over, huh?
We're at the hour, but we're fine.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, members of the IWC, and all you marks, thanks so much for listening to the podcast up to this point. If you like our opinions, agree with us, subscribe. EH Productions, EH Plus Wrestling on most of your podcast platforms. Look for @HutchHenrys on Twitter, Instagram, but most importantly on YouTube. And I don't know, Boris, where do you want these people? If you want to get weird, unsolicited messages from people that you'd rather not associate with, which platform would you like that to happen on?
I love it, because if you want to be part of the conversation, just go to facebook.com and search for Plus Productions. You can be part of the other fun chats that we have for shows like this. A bunch of people go online, they talk about the show. If you like wrestling, if you like opinions, Plus Productions is the place to go. Hutch,
I gotta get a Stream Deck trigger for that, where I can just hit it and it'll just say that exact line that you just said, which I've heard a million times. Follow E Plus Wrestling on Facebook. But yeah, go do that, because that seems to be the place where you actually do our super chats from, or whatever, right?
Exactly.
So if you actually want us to respond to you, Facebook is the place to be.
That's the best place.
Yeah.
Because we're old. We're old people like that. Will you stay Facebook?
Yeah, man. All right. Thanks so much for watching the pod. Me and Boris are going to talk for about 5 minutes. This will be like, we'll release a DVD of like an After Raw DVD later, and you guys can hear all the crap.
Exactly. Love it. All right, man. Well, always a pleasure.
Right.
Thanks so much for listening. Until next time, everybody, take care.